Hey everyone, this is my reaction to the 12th and final episode of Miru Tights. And man, is it painful to say that this is the final episode, but that's reality. This show that's pretty much transcended all other anime is coming to an end very quickly, which is unfortunate because, it's a short form anime. So, like, how many combined minutes did we even get throughout this show? Like, 20? I don't know, but it's just, I don't know. It feels like we've been drip fed the anime of the gods and it's just about to drip out. It's very, very unfortunate. Anyway, last episode, we had a Valentine's Day episode, I think, and we had some, like, Yuri gift giving slash bondage slash teasing, and it was a nice episode. I liked it. So I really do hope this final episode really delivers. I want the show to end off on a bang. This show has some episodes have been better than others with this show, So I do hope this is one of the higher tier ones. That's really what I'm hoping for. Yeah, that's all I really had to say. So let's just get into it and hope that my hope is be reality. So, 3, 2, 1, play. Miru Taitsu. The tights that we will soon no longer be able to Miru. Travel in tights. Like the Sisterhood of the Traveling Tights. Relatable. Yeah, it makes it very, very important. I see. I'm not even doing anything special right now, but it's still quite great, isn't it? Oh man, that foot's getting close. I almost felt like it was gonna touch my face. Unfortunately, it did not. But man, wouldn't it be great if it did? Anyway, what were they talking about? Oh, I'm seeing, trust me. I like the way you think. I like the idea. Just the camera work is just on best camera work. You girls are making it so hard to read the subs, I hope you know that. I'm desperately trying to keep track of what they're saying, but I can barely manage. Something about traveling to hot springs, but I get the gist of it. Oof. Like how we switch position here. If I didn't know, but I'd say these girls knew the camera existed. I'm feeling a lot of hope right now. I don't know what they're talking about. And this girls is full of great ideas. Yeah, that. Who's got time for that? Well, then what do you expect to do? Yeah, you can have your salad, you health-conscious girl. We got our pizza. I knew they would cave eventually. And then they go to sleep. So that's what their faces look like. I kind of forgot since we were viewing their tights so much. And they sleep together, naturally. Cute picture. It's amazing jump. She got a lot of air there. There we go, foot bath. That lucky water. Yes, the important part of that once again caught in the frame. Because someone else might see the picture and say, hey, you completely missed their faces. This is a horrible picture. And then he's like, no, I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. But yeah, you got a lot of priorities with the animation budget. Like, all that traveling stuff was just a still image collection montage, but the discussion about the trip, that's where the animation budget went. And there we go. That one definitely was made to look like it was an accidental picture, but no, it was very much intentional. And there we go. That's the end of the show and the episode. So, I mean, there's probably not a lot to really say with this episode. But basically, the girls sat around thinking about making, traveling plans. And as they did so, the cameraman, just walks around the room and does his job. And he does his job well, for the most part. And the girls even switched up positions to keep it fresh, which I definitely appreciate. So yeah, the hard work between those two parties here, just trying to give the audience the best experience. Definitely appreciate it. So, yeah, they were also complaining about food or whatever. Like, pizza has too many calories. We can't eat that. It's like, well, how about this? Well, that has just as many calories. Like, well, fine, just eat a salad. You're just going to complain about everything. And then they just ended up getting a pizza anyway. So, yeah, best decision, I would say. You really can't argue with the decision to buy in pizza. That's always the best decision. And given any sort of circumstances, it really doesn't matter. But anyway, yeah, I quite enjoyed that bit, and I really did think it was funny how when they finally did do the trip, wandering around and stuff, it was just the still image montage, because we already spent our animation budget at that point, so it was great. It was great. There's just not a lot to say about it, but it was great. I wouldn't say this was the best episode of the series, but it definitely was one of the better ones, I would say. Certainly doesn't match up to ones like the foot lake massage, whatever it was, episode, the Yuri one. That was still the best episode. And of course, the fake out dream thing with the teacher, that was obviously the second best episode. This one didn't pass either of them, but I might put it at number 3, maybe. I don't know. It would at least be somewhere in the top 5. I don't know. I have to think about that, but it definitely was a good episode. Because, it wasn't super gimmicky like some of the other ones. It was just a nice, relaxing, these 3 girls are friends. They're just sitting next to each other, having a nice chat, while we as the audience Miru their tights, So, I do like how they pulled things a little bit back for this final episode, but still kept it true to what the series is really about, seeing those tights on these girls. So, yeah, I have no real complaints with the final episode, even if, like I said, it wasn't the best of the series. It was good enough for what it needed to be, I would say. So, that's pretty much everything I could say on the episode itself. But it was kind of funny though with the footbath. They actually took off their tights because, well, of course you would. You wouldn't just wear your tights in the footbath. So we got a bit of a rare treat to actually see their bare legs there. So that was nice. That was nice as well. But anyway, my thoughts on the series as a whole. I wasn't sure what to expect going into this show. The only thing I could possibly think to compare it to in my head before I watched it was a show called man, what was the name of that show? It started with E. Yeah. The show called. We'll give it a second to load up with my crappy internets, but I mean, I guess I could read it just from that. It was called Iya na Kao Sada Nagara Opansu Misete Moraitai. That show. In the show, I mean, I guess it had some similarities to that, but I think that I'd say they were pretty different. Although that show I just mentioned was a top tier show as well, which is getting a second season, which I of course look forward to. But anyway, this show I'd say it was pretty different from that. This one really had more of a narrative, whereas that one was more girl of the week sort of thing. Like, let's see this girl's pantsu this week, But I'm not going to say which one was better or worse. They're both kind of their own. They're different enough where I don't want to really directly compare them like that. But this anime was very, very good. The premise was, of course, seeing these girls' tights, and the show definitely delivered on that front. Like, you can't say that the title was misleading. It was not. Every episode, we saw tights on many girls. Sometimes we saw them get torn up. Sometimes we saw them get taken off. Sometimes we saw them get wet. Sometimes we saw them from a cat's perspective. Sometimes we got massaged through them. There was always a little bit something. And I did like the creativity in some of the episodes and how you never really knew what you were going to get with any given episode. Of course, my biggest complaint with the series will just be the fact that it's a short-form anime. But that's how it goes sometimes. There's not really much you can do about that. If you don't have the budget for a full-length show, then you can't really yell at anyone for that, They gave us something. That's really what I should be glad about. But yeah, just all the various ways they made to show us these tights were very much appreciated by me. There's just not a lot to say about the show, because it was a simple, albeit very satisfying premise of seeing the tights, and I'd say the show did a good job on that. Like, what more could you ask for in a show called Miru Tights than being able to Miru Tights? Like, yeah, and the three girls, you know, they, I mean, yeah, I guess I should talk a little bit about the girls that, you know, wear the tights, the crazy idea. Our three main girls were Yua, Homi, and Ren, and I liked them all, you know, decently enough. Homi was kind of the more silly one, whereas Ren, I think, was a bit more of the serious one, and Yua was Yua, the one that actually looked noticeably different than the other two. Whereas Homi and Ren could be confused with each other from certain angles. But they're all pretty good friends, and I enjoyed their friendship with each other, and, you know, they're close enough friends to, like, massage each other's foot or whatever. I wish I remember what episode that was. I guess I could check these. I mean, it shouldn't take that long. Okay, it wasn't 6. Maybe it was a 9? No, 9 was the kitty cat episode, which was nice, too. Being able to see those tights from underneath the kotatsu was pretty cool. 10 was the ear clean episode, so... And what episode was it? It was, yeah, it was after the teacher one, I'm sure. So it should be like 7, right? Or no, 7 was the teacher one. I'll get it eventually. Don't worry. I'll find this episode 8. Okay, it was 8. So there we go. So yeah, just it was Yua and Ren just in the club room together. Yua down there on her knees, just feeling up that foot, while she tried to not, you know, just drench the entire classroom in various fluids. And just the dialogue there and the teacher overhearing it all was pretty great. That was still where the show peaked. I don't think anybody could really argue with that too much, unless they hated Yuri, I guess, like a crazy person. But other than that, yeah, you can't really argue with that. That was definitely where I got the most enjoyment out of the show. And yeah, when you do that, when you can, my initial point, you know, was that if you can do that with a friend, then you are very, very close friends. So that pretty much showed a lot there. That wasn't even the only closest we saw on the show, you know. Homie, I believe it was, also had a brother that, you know, they showed how close they were with the ear cleaning and all that stuff. So yeah, that was another big part of the show, just seeing how close these characters are. And a teacher who was very close to her students, you know, what she did with her student, very much shows how close they are. So yeah, that was another big theme of the show, besides just this tights, is just how close, you know, people are with each other. So that was pretty nice. That was definitely pretty nice. It just would have been nice to have more of this, you know. That's just kind of my overall point. But I am glad we got the show at all, and I am grateful for that. So maybe there'll be a second season someday. Probably not, but either way, I will definitely treasure the time I spent with this show. So thank you for watching, and a special thanks to Cnouki for supporting the channel. If you enjoyed this video, I hope you consider clicking the like button and leaving a comment, because that's a great and easy way to let me know that people want more. If you want to do something big to help the channel, you can support me on Patreon and get nice benefits like early access to certain videos. See you next time.